Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been another week and we're here with another non-expert opinion. As you always say,
I'm not gonna say it.
say it, say it right now.
Another day, another Neo.
Yeah. We've coined that. That's our
T-shirt.
Another week, another Neo.
Huh?
I think day just flows by. Another day, another Neo.
Oh, I mean, you messed it up.
Why?
I just fucked it up for you.
Anyhow.
It's anyhow, yeah. So we're back, and today we are going to talk about something that pretty much all of us have done, and that is post-secondary school.
Moment of silence.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much like post-secondary school is something I feel like everyone is going to end up doing maybe at some point.
Odds are pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that, you know, a couple of cool dudes here who've done it, that we thought we should express our opinion on how it was for us and maybe how we could have done things differently. And maybe if it's a good choice for our fellow experts out there who watch our videos, aka our 25 subscribers.
26.
26?
I didn't
Yeah,
make that
subscribe,
account.
yeah.
Oh. Goddamn.
Hey, 26. The big
I
26.
got my mom to subscribe to.
Nice.
She keeps asking.
You won't be at 27 actually. Okay.
Oh,
I'm not gonna mom subscribe to.
Jeez.
I don't think my mom has YouTube.
Yeah, neither does my mom. So, to all the moms out there,
Please
get a
subscribe.
YouTube account and subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck. Well, there goes our monetization.
Alright, let's talk about our experience in
Yeah.
post-secondary.
Who wants to start?
I mean, you completed post-secondary, so what's your
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That just shows you
Yeah.
the ratio.
So it's a 1-to-3 ratio.
It was alright. I didn't go into the degree that I wanted to do.
Right? Why do you think that is?
Well, I wanted to do paleontology at first, right? Like, you know, I was 2 years old, watched Jurassic Park, was like, oh, the dinosaurs, ooh, you know. and ever since then, I've just wanted to become a paleontologist, but a lot of people told me that there was no job prospects in it. So I was kind of like, oh, I don't, you know, if I don't want to like be poor, you know, if like, because when you're a kid, you know, one of those things that you're like thinking about is like, as you're getting older, it's like, oh shit, I need to have a job that actually makes money, you know. And I thought that paleontology was like something that you couldn't make money in, right? So I was like, okay, I'll let go of my dreams. I'll do something that will, I guess, get me a piece of paper that said, "Cool guy, you graduated
You're
from
certified."
university," you know.
Certified to gal.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much. I mean, it really is when you think about it, right?
In a nutshell.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty much like I went into a degree that wasn't necessarily for me. And although I learned a lot of things from it, right, I still wish that I'd kind of taken some time to, you know, be like, maybe I should go into paleontology and actually
Yeah.
look into these things, you know.
I did gap year.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, but overall the experience was all right, you know. It was nothing to, I guess, gloat about like I used to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not
like,
worth the hype.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like when I was in school, I didn't like it. But then now that I'm not, I haven't been in school for a while. I kind of do miss like the whole university life.
It keeps you in kind of like schedule. I think.
Yeah, and not only like I don't know. It's just so social, you know. It's a good social place to just like talk to people, make new friends.
Mhm.
And I think that's what like a lot of adults we don't realize because we've stuck with the same friend group, and we have a pretty good friend group, like with a pretty good amount of people. But like a lot of adults don't have friends because they either screwed up in high school, didn't make any friends, or university didn't make any friends. So when they grow up, they're just like they're like antisocial and they don't have people talk to and shit, right? Stuff like that. I like talking to people at university, even like professors, TAs, students. That was nice. Plus, I actually liked the commute. It was peaceful at times,
At times when the
Yeah.
bus was
Yeah.
The commutes were the worst.
TTC is not. I don't know. It's like a
TTC
it's a
is
coin
not
flip,
ideal.
right?
Yeah.
Some days it'll be on the dot. Some days it's just terrible.
No, definitely not
Yeah.
during rush hour. Every day
Yeah.
during rush hour, it's the worst, right?
It's the worst.
Some buses just barely ever came.
Yeah, 102D.
Or the ones that would come
160,
consecutively,
180,
always
always
packed. Always packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like canning down.
Yeah, especially at Young Station.
Oh, that's the
Oh
worst.
my god, the subway, you have to wait like three
Yeah.
trains. Sometimes you'd be first in line, and somehow you'd be at the back of the line.
Yeah.
Somehow, like I'm not an aggressive person, but holy shit, I get tossed around in those situations. Crazy.
Yeah, but no, I think it's very important. I think like making the connection is definitely, I think, the most important part
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the post-secondary education, because a lot of people, they just kind of focus on the school and the study aspect of it, but then they don't make those social connections that
Yeah.
they should be making, and that's very important.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I feel like fully agree with you guys on about university is like in high school, everyone kind of ends up being in a niche, right? Like you're in like a social crew kind of,
Yeah.
right? That happens from time to time. When you're in university, there's just so much people there, right?
Yeah.
And like you automatically just from talking to people you gain like a multitude of different like ideas, depending on the professors you speak to, the like courses you take, you're learning like so many different new things.
Yeah.
And like over time that does accumulate and you kind of end up growing as a person from it,
Yeah.
right? And that's one of the things I really liked about university. Sometimes you get stuck in group projects where
Well, group projects are the worst.
Those-
I know
so
it's
strange.
nice, but like, most of the time,
It's
group
such a
projects
weird
are the
way to
worst.
like mark. I think
Because
it's
then
just
you
like,
have like those weird people that are like 40, 50 years
Yeah.
old, and then you have the fresh out of high school, and then you have,
Yeah.
like, it's just so mixed up, but it's
Yeah.
so interesting.
it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's definitely interesting though.
there,
You get to see all kinds of working habits. It's
yeah,
amazing.
pretty much, right? And
Yeah.
you also like, I feel like group projects in high school were way worse than group projects in university because, like, at least for me, right?
Really?
Yeah.
University's worse.
Yeah,
bro.
because
No,
Because
because
like
high school-
500.
No,
bro.
no,
If you
yeah.
lose that one person, you're done.
You're
bro.
done.
No,
In
here's
high
the
school, you're
thing,
stuck in
right?
the classroom.
I think it's high school.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
no,
Yes.
high school people never took group projects like
Seriously,
seriously.
yeah.
There
Yeah.
will be always people who will be like, oh, like I'm gonna half-ass this entire thing,
Yeah.
and then that ends up like messing up your hard work that you put
Yeah,
into
and
it.
teachers in high school are less lenient.
Yeah.
Because university, if you email your prof saying, hey, this person did nothing, they're just gonna give the marks to the people who did it, and
Yeah.
they're gonna ask for
Yeah.
proof and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
high school,
pretty
they
much.
don't really care. They're just gonna be like, all right, it sucks. It's your fault. You should have brought it to class. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But then I feel like I disagree because I think for high school, you're always gonna see that person in class
Yeah,
unless you're skipping
regardless.
class. And if they're
Yeah.
skipping class, then the teacher's gonna be like, all right, this
Yeah.
guy
Mhm.
deserves to
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no attendance in uni.
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to
okay,
skip
that's
so
true.
much.
I think that's
But-
I don't know, man. I feel like it's such a double-edged sword.
Skipping?
You can easily abuse it, like skipping
Yeah.
class,
Yeah.
but then it fucks you up
It
so
fucks you up
hard.
so hard.
Don't you
yeah.
feel like it was a
Yeah.
double-edged sword though? At least when it came to you, I mean, not a double-edged sword. Like you knew the repercussions
Yeah.
of like what was
100%.
happening
Every hour
if
of
you
extra
like
sleep you
ditched a
got.
group project,
Yeah.
right?
No, yeah, group project's huge. Like,
Yeah, like every single group project I did, yeah, we'd have like there were times where there'd be like stupid
I mean,
people
you
doing
got
stupid
fucked over
things.
more than often.
Yeah, yeah,
for group
I
projects.
I have gotten fucked
Tell
over.
your stories of like being ghosted and accused of
Yeah. I've had those experiences, but like I also feel like that ended up being a kind of learning experience too, because
Okay.
that's how it is in kind of real life sometimes too.
Yeah.
You end up getting into like projects that you have to do in your like job where someone just won't pick up the slack, and the best thing you can do is either find out why they're doing that or to just straight up go to the person in charge and be like,
Yeah.
this person's fucking ruining everything
Yeah.
right now. Can you just tell him to screw off so we can get this done in kind of peace?
Yeah.
Right? The capability that I had in university to immediately do that made things so much easier for me,
Fair.
right? Because then I could immediately like be like, can I just do this project solo? And most of my professors would be like, is that what you really want? And I was like, yes, please, with all my heart, just let me do this. And they'd be like, it's gonna be harder, but yeah, sure, okay. And I would have that control all of a sudden, right?
Mhm.
In high school, I didn't have that.
Yeah, you're forced. I mean, high school,
Yeah, it's forced. You can't
Yeah,
just
you get forced to do all kinds of shit.
And also, when you do end up getting with like a really good group, it's the fucking best thing ever because you go like you speed right through it.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy, right? But yeah, I guess it depends on the people you end up with, but I feel like there was much more freedom, at least for
fair
me in
enough.
university as an adult, kind of.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with like what you said about the transition from uni to like workplace.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of what they at least try to prepare you for, is like the actual real life, right? Because they teach you how to talk to people and stuff. But as going back to what Mark said, it's like those connections are actually, I don't even think like university, the degree is sure you get a piece of paper, but I swear to God, I think the connections you make with your profs and like, because like getting a recommendation from a professor at a university to give it for a job application, it's huge.
Yeah.
It makes you look so good. Like you immediately get like put on a pedestal, right? And stuff like that. Like even your TAs and stuff, you make connections. You get like cool internships and job offerings and stuff you would never get if you weren't social. And I think that's kind of what I fucked up in. Like
Sometimes.
at work,
Yes.
I didn't talk to people, and I kind of regret it.
Socialist.
That's why when I did like the plumbing thing, I made sure I was like best friends with the prof. Because like now that I'm going to the military, he gave me a reference. He's like, you can use me. And that's cool.
Yeah.
You get a professor's reference, pretty
Yeah.
nice, right? So stuff like that. Just be more social, guys. You know, even if you don't like talking to people, it's a good way to practice too.
Even if you're not like getting a good mark in the class,
That's another big
right?
thing. Yeah.
honestly, like, go talk to the professor and seem interested, because then they'll at least like be like, okay, he's trying. They're trying to learn. You
And
know?
it's crazy because the difference of like grades you can get. Say you were going to class and like you didn't understand anything, but you were doing your work, but you didn't talk to anyone about it. You get like a 50. But if you same situation, you like talk to your TAs or at least participate in class, you get like a 70. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between grades, just because you're outgoing and social, is nice. Or at least participate. Which is one of the bigger things. Participate in your classes and tutorials and all that stuff.
And there are things like, I mean, like, some people are just introverted by nature, right? It's hard to kind of pull yourself out of it.
Yeah.
But like, there are ways that they've made it kind of easy, so you can still talk to like professors in private, right?
Yeah,
You have the you get like you can pretty much like set up an appointment with them and go and actually talk to them. You could talk to them after class.
Yeah, they call it after hours or something. Yeah.
There have been times where I would spend like an hour extra in class sometimes just to talk to like some of the professors that I didn't like. Like, I really enjoyed like berating my philosophy professors, because during the actual class there would be people like throwing out opinions and things.
It's hectic.
And it would be it'd be so hectic, and trying to put out like your viewpoint into that maelstrom of opinions is kind of tough, right? So being able to like go after class to your professor and be like, hey yo, I wanted to talk about, what's that guy?
Sigmund Freud.
Maybe, yeah,
Or
sure.
Seneca or whatever. Philosopher guy.
What's the guy?
John.
What's that story about the cave? The people.
Oh yeah, the cave and the fire and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mr. G drove that into my fucking asshole.
Yeah, we
We're talking about it every time we had the opportunity.
You drove what into your asshole?
Story, not anything physical. There's a metaphorical shove, but every time he had the opportunity to bring that story, he'd always bring it. I'm like, dude, come on.
It's a good.
It's a good story, but sometimes it had nothing to do with what he was talking about. I think he just really liked that story.
Yeah.
Like I forgot, Galileo was it? No, it wasn't Galileo. It started with G. It was a Greek philosopher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I have a book on it, but I
How
forgot.
did I forget this guy's name? Plato? Is it Plato?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
it
it's
was
Plato.
Plato.
Yeah, it's Plato, yeah.
It might be Plato.
Pretty sure it is Plato.
I have the book
I
somewhere
don't
of
know.
the 5 verses, but I
We need like a fact checker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. You know what? We're gonna hire a fact
We're gonna
checker
hire.
someday.
Yeah, applications are online.
Send your application to neo@neo.com.
You need a university degree and like 5 years of experience.
Yeah.
And you have to be a co-host on Joe Rogan. That is the reality
Taking
of
volunteer hours.
job market.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much. It's Jesus. Why do I always randomly have brain farts where I just forget what I'm talking about?
You went off topic.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
I think you were talking about talking to your professor.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
came flying back to me. Yeah, but like I said, if you feel like you're doing shit, go talk to the professors. They'll kind of understand if you're like struggling, you know, and they'll be able to help you out. It just takes a bit of talking, you know. A lot of people are afraid of professors because they're professors.
Yeah.
They're just
They're
people.
just humans. They just like talking as much
Yeah.
as you do.
Mhm.
So what do you think like stigma between college versus university? You know, what do you think is there any difference?
I mean, there is a difference,
Yeah.
but like you're learning the same thing. In the end, you're learning the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
one is more hands-on. The other one, you just learn about it. They just tell it to you, and then you
Yeah.
have to like think about it and do it like theory-based, right?
Mhm.
But college is better. It's a lot easier.
I kind of agree with that too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even the fact that it's easier. It's just like I think, as you said, like if you're very like hands-on, like trade, maybe like art, or do not go to university for art. It's the biggest mistake you ever make.
Yeah, you can
go
make
to college.
money off art
Yeah.
just on your own.
Or
You don't
just
need to
if
go to-
you really want to go to school, go to college. Like
Or culinary.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you want to
Or
learn art
exactly.
history,
Yeah,
like
unless you
genuinely
yeah, unless
wanna
you're
learn
interested
art
in like
history.
Yeah.
art history, I think
But
maybe
you're
one of
doing
the few
next
things
level.
you might actually want to go to university for, the
Yeah.
history of art, which I took and it's not fun. That's just me though, but like I agree with it. Like college more hands-on, university it's more like theoretical.
Yeah.
They try to give you all the book-driven
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It's more like you gotta figure out the shit by yourself
Yeah.
compared to like college where like it's a smaller group.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like anyone you sit beside, it's kind of like high school class. So like
Which
you
I
see
actually
them
liked about college.
over
too,
and over
yeah.
again.
Mhm.
Yeah, this guy named was a dude. He was weird. He'd always show me his Instagram posts, and they're like shirtless. And I'm like, dude, I'm not interested. Like I'm not gay.
Nothing.
I don't think he wanted. Just leave me alone. I think that's one of the ups and downs because sometimes you see your classmates too often, and like you get used to them, and you can't like if you don't like any of your classmates, your life's gonna be hell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not fun.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Like I went to George Brown, right, and it was a lot of like this I did not like because I felt it wasn't even discrimination. It was just like I wasn't being included in a lot of the stuff because a lot of the people in the art program at George Brown were like foreign exchange students. So when they came, they had their own little group of just like their culture and like their background, and it would kind of suck because like whenever there's like a group project, it would just like always be them. And I was like, dude, like I want to be a part of this shit too. Like, let me see what you guys are talking about. And things they're always talking their mother tongue. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I felt not included.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's happening a lot more with colleges and universities because a lot of foreign students are coming.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, give them education, but it's just one of the realities of it, I think. Yeah. You went to culinary school, right? How did you find that, like as a trade school kind of thing?
Honestly, I would suggest people that are trying to get into any kind of culinary-based thing is just better to kind of get a placement in an actual restaurant than actually go to school for it because you learn a lot more by working with or for someone than you would in culinary school. Well, culinary school is just kind of like the basics, right? And I do have to say, like, I did learn a few things, like, not culinary-wise per se, but more just like, kind of making those connections with people that are in the industry. Because a lot of those culinary professors, especially for the practical classes, they were actual chefs that worked in
Mhm.
like a lot of high-end places and have a lot of hookups to those places.
Nice.
So as long as you were there and you were talking to them and you're doing good, they would gladly recommend you to like a restaurant. I know a couple of people that talk to the professors who would kiss ass, and then the professors would kind of hook them up with, say like, hey, go stage at this place, I know the chef there or whatever. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I did take like a year off from high school to kind of figure out what I was doing, right? Because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do, like a lot of people. So I definitely think taking a year off after high school, like if you especially don't know what you want to do, just kind of take a year off, maybe another 2 years off to kind of figure out like what it is you really want to do with your life. And then that's literally what I did. And then I kind of figured out, okay, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of was forced into going into the culinary school in a way, just because, you know, people are like, you know, it's good to have the diploma and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Even though I know at the back of my head and what, you know, how the industry is, it's just better to kind of just go out there and work and build your experience on your resume rather than just have a 1 year diploma from the school, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
But,
I
yeah.
guess that's the flip side of like diploma not being worth it. Right?
Exactly. Like I think for like trades, it's just better for you guys to just kind of like go in and get a job rather than go to school for it, because I think you learn more than on site on a job than you would at a school.
Yeah, I agree with most of that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, again, I did make amazing connections though, and I still speak to some of those people from school, and then it's like having a good collaboration, or just, you know, for future job references. You know,
You've done some gigs with like old buddies, right?
old buddies, yeah,
Which is
just
pretty
kinda
awesome.
talk to them and, you know, meet up, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
You like
stuff.
Also, even if you don't gain anything from the connection, you made friendships, right?
You make
Yeah,
Like
friendships.
those are good things
Friendships
to have
and
in
memories,
life.
like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, just, I think even experiencing like the college and the uni
Yeah.
kind of atmosphere is really important, especially if you're kind of that introverted.
Yeah.
Because I know I was a little bit introverted, and then
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody that was going to the same college, so I just had
Yeah.
to, you know, start again from scratch and make new connections, right?
Fair enough.
So, but it just comes really easily. You meet like-minded people and
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't matter if they're in your class or not. Sometimes you just might find them like just walking in the hallway, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
outside having a smoke, or, you know, lighting up a J, or in a bar. It's just,
Yeah, and like
you make those connections.
like one of the biggest things is because a lot of people go to post-secondary straight out of high school, right?
Yeah.
You gotta realize you're still like a kid.
Yeah.
You're 18. Like you're like I was a kid. We were all kids. You know, we were still very young and not fully matured.
Mhm.
And I think that's what post-secondary offers is just it's like a journey. It's a journey that you get to go through, and it kind of matures you as a person, right? Because you get to talk to all these new people. There's a lot of downs and ups, but a lot of downs. Like, you know, late nights studying, stressing. It learns you how to like manage your time, how to manage stress, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Honestly,
important.
During first year, the amount of just breakdowns I
Yeah.
had because of like the course overload
hard.
that I like put myself into, because I was so unprepared pretty much to what I was gonna be dealing with. What was insane. Like that entire first year was absolute like straight up hell for me, right? It got easier for me during like second, third, and fourth year, but I mean maturing, essentially forcing myself to mature.
Kind of learn how to deal with all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And it was only by, I guess, like fifth year where I was kind of like, oh, I have a paper due in 7 hours. Childish, soft, you know, and I get it done so fast. But
What'd you get on it?
they'd normally be 70s or
Nice.
80s. If it's a paper,
That's-
I knew I was
yeah.
gonna pass it regardless of when I gave it in,
Nice.
because
That's good.
Your writing's next level.
I just
Yeah.
I'm not trying to gloat, but I'm a gloat right now.
No, I think it's actually important that you mention that, because I think two of the biggest skills a lot of people lack in life is how to write properly and how to talk properly.
Mhm.
Because if you know how to speak your way into things, you're blessed. You can get any kind of job. Same
Yeah.
thing with writing, like how to write a good email, or like to write an essay, as you said.
Mhm.
All those stuff you learn in post-secondary, you know?
Yeah, that's you don't learn that in high school.
Not in high
Yeah.
school.
You
no.
know,
yeah.
You get the hamburger formula.
The hamburger
Bullshit.
format is the biggest
Bullshit.
lie.
Especially if your
bro.
civics teacher is a pothead who does not like you.
Oh my god, yeah,
Dude.
yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
But
Likewise.
yeah, it's like I wish I took an extra year.
Yeah.
I didn't want to really take a gap year, where like I didn't do anything, or I was like trying to get a job. I really, really genuinely wanted to stay an extra year in high school so I could get a few extra courses, so I could try to apply for paleontology, right? But I guess brown people,
Yeah, they just want you to go into
Yeah.
right away, direct.
yeah, we
Not
like
in college,
No
just
delay,
university.
direct.
just
Yeah,
university.
yeah.
You
Go to
have to
college,
go
And a
direct.
certified program.
Yeah.
Not no bullshit program.
So pretty much like
You know what's funny though? I feel like people who aren't brown probably think we're like
Brown or Asian, like
Yeah.
any
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 like
Oriental
culture that
from
kind of has like high
East,
expectations, right?
you know?
they probably think we're like bullshitting, but the reality is like a lot of Oriental people
Yeah.
just you gotta fucking straight out of high school, uni, degree, marriage, kids, life's done.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Like, that's
And a
just-
banger job which allows you to
Yeah.
buy a 3-story house.
But then
or
you have that
something.
house, and one day you're just sleeping, and your husband cheats, and you're just like, my whole life, I'm 40, my ovaries are all fucked up, and
This fucker's out here cheating.
Oh man.
it's just shit like that. But
No, but I heard the education system, and I don't know if it's Ontario or Canada. They're trying to implement grade 13 again, like they did back in
Oh.
the day.
Like fully implemented
like everyone's
without
Option or
Yeah.
mandatory?
Mandatory, I think. I don't know.
because optional, it's already.
I
right?
did-
So you
yeah.
technically take
I
it.
did hear about it. I don't know where I heard about it. I think it was on the news. But they were talking about how they're trying to implement it again, and a lot of people are for it. And I completely agree because, like,
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when I was in grade 12, I was like, "Fuck, dude,
Yeah,
I need another year. I can't just."
I'm not
No, I'm not ready for this shit. I'm not ready for
I think
life.
the issue with that, the reason they don't have grade 13 is plausibly is because think about it this way: when you're already in grade 12, you're kind of an adult, like technically by legal standards an adult because you're
Yeah,
18.
'cause you're 18.
But then if you go to grade 13, you got like these 19-year-olds, maybe even like 20, maybe some who failed. Those are like full on like adults who could potentially be like just goons. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be more like questioning you and teachers, and some teachers are they're gonna be like, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
That's
That type of
why I
thing.
feel
Yeah.
like it should be, if it was optional, if it
That-
remained optional, it's a
would be
better
best,
thing.
yeah. Because then you
Right?
actually have students who want to stay because for educational purposes,
Yeah.
not just because they're forced to.
And some
Yeah.
people might be ready exactly at grade 12. They'll be
Yeah,
like, I know exactly what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
do. I'm a fucking genius.
Yeah, if you haven't figured it out, then you're
Yeah.
already
Yeah,
wrong.
because there are kids who are just
Yeah.
like gifted, you know.
Yeah.
Yo.
They're just smart people.
There were people in our university who were just straight up, I mean, in high school, who were straight up just ready to go to university.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking excited.
That was their goal. Like they were the graduation. Fuck that.
Yeah.
they didn't want that. They just wanted like, child, take me to university right now. you
Yeah,
know?
pretty much. Well, I was over in the back. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
right.
I'm not ready
It's
for
like you're in
this.
graduation, we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Fucking high school's over?
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I was just in grade 9 like 2
Yeah.
weeks ago. What happened?
Exactly.
It's like shit. Take me back. It's I don't know. Life flies, but yeah. Like Adji, what do you have to say on like course loads? Because you're in college right now, right?
Course
Do you think
loads?
like you got the right amount of courses? Would you have taken more or less?
I think I fucked up at uni first year.
Yeah.
By taking the 5 course load because that's the minimum, or no, that's the
Max.
that's what like, the standard.
That's a
is.
full time.
Wait,
That's what
five?
5 courses,
I
right?
thought it was 4.
No, it's
5
5
courses is
is like
maximum?
the
Yeah, 5 courses is what like the standard is to
also
graduate on
OSAP
time.
kind of.
I had 8 courses.
screws with you, right?
Minimum is like
Oh
3
yeah,
for full time.
I took 6 courses in
Yeah.
first year.
Some,
when it was-
some courses you need like 6 courses
Yeah.
each semester.
Mhm.
But your course load in the computer science was so fucked. And I fucked up because I thought I wanted to do it and I didn't really want to do it. So I fucked up and stayed there at Ryerson for like 2 years, a year and a half, and built up some debt.
Yeah.
Found a
That's-
different school
that's
with
another
like
thing.
more
I
debt.
guess you built some
Yeah.
credit
Yeah.
too, right?
No, I just straight up ditched me, bro.
One
It was
day,
actually fun. That was the
Yo.
only part. That was the only good thing was PERGY was there.
one day, Perky's just like, all right,
Dude,
I guess I just come today too. You know,
Yo.
smoke a joint.
I remember in the group chat when this guy was and Tarif were like talking, and they were pretty much like, yeah, Adji's like, I'm getting ready to ditch
Yeah.
Ryerson, bro. And I was like, no freaking way. This guy's about
Literally
to
him
ditch my ass,
abandoning
bro.
me right now. You're...
That's funny.
Yeah, because I saw this guy's brother a lot, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of made it less of a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
you know? But I never see Submission, like
Yeah.
rarely,
Yeah,
if not
yeah.
ever.
Because he
I
had
didn't
a whole
see him the
new
first
like
year.
friend group, right?
Yeah.
Which is what you should do, you know.
I mean, he was
Find your friends.
he was a business guy. He's in
Yeah.
Ted
That-
Rogers
never
most of
seen
the time.
him,
I
right?
never
Yeah.
went. I barely ever went there, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, but like after this guy ditched, I was like, I need to make friends.
Yeah.
because I got away with it for a while, you know,
Because
not
like staying in that
interacting.
comfort zone because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I know somebody here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't so bad for me because I had 3 friend Ralphs that.
Bruh. yeah, but
I think Tarif also left
Yeah.
York,
Yeah.
and I just had depression for a bit. Because I had like that, you know, that comfort of knowing someone you know goes there.
Yeah.
But then like it just suddenly it's all gone. And you're like, fuck, what is life?
The best part is traveling with them to class.
Yeah,
If you're
that
at the
too. I
same
used to
time.
travel with,
Yeah.
like, I used to see Matthew on the train some days.
Yeah.
It'll be nice, you know. I'd just be like, it's cool because he used to take Finch West, I think, and he'd get on the station to get off at Shepherd East or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'd just be sitting there, I'd look, I'm like, oh shit, it's Matthew. And we just go talk and then go to class together and maybe bus home sometimes. Those are fun days.
It
But
actually
then,
makes
like,
time go by faster.
yeah, and then, like, as you go through your uni years,
Yeah.
you start, like, meeting people and, you know,
yeah.
you distance yourself or you get closer, whatever. I think one of the biggest things that, you know, we were supposed to tell these younglings is that stigmas, you know, like that whole course load thing. The stigma in uni is like a lot of people tend to take the full course
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
sometimes I did it because I didn't even want to take it. It's because I just felt like that was the norm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I
But
thought.
please do yourself a favor. If you think you can handle 5, it is a lot. 5 courses is a lot.
5
to juggle.
courses is a shit ton.
Take 4, take even 3. Like, go at your own pace because it's not a race. The only person you're racing is yourself.
Yeah, the
So
best
that
way to do
was
it.
just-
The best way to do it is that you have 10 courses for the year, 3, and then 2 in the summer.
Exactly. You can even
That's
take
easy.
summer
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
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 Summer
I
school is
had-
blessed.
Yeah.
I
had
never
8
did
courses.
summer school
Yeah, that's
until like
8 courses per
did you do 8
semester.
8 courses, and it was a 1-year program.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of fucked myself over because I didn't know like I could, you know.
You could
Crap,
extend
all those
it.
Extend it
courses
out.
together.
So
Shit.
I just thought since it's a 1-year program, I might as well just get everything done with it in
Yeah.
1 year, and that's what kind of fucked me up because I really enjoyed going to my practical classes because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be hands-on and learn
Mhm.
like what it is I'm actually doing. And then when it came to those courses where I'd have to, you know,
Like lectures.
sit in a lecture room
Yeah.
or do some bullshit essay thing,
Yeah.
and fucking English. I skipped so many times.
Yeah.
And just didn't give a fuck because I was just like, yeah, fuck it, you know. Or like my friends would be like, let's just go to a bar and fucking whatever, you know.
I
So they're just like living life. enjoying
You know
college
what?
life.
That's also one of the things that I actually enjoyed about university.
Bars.
It's no, not the not bars. Just the excessive amount of freedom that you're just randomly given, right?
Yeah.
Especially
It's too
when
much
you're
power.
18.
You can go to the washroom with that aspect.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just walk out of class.
That's
pretty
You
Walk
just
class.
walk out of
Yeah.
fucking class, right?
He's not gonna get off. What? He hope.
Yo,
so many
yo,
times.
I would sometimes walk out of class, go to the washroom. The second I step out of the washroom and be like,
I don't want to go back.
I need a coffee, so I'm gonna go to the closest Tim's. I'd walk like 10 minutes away, I'd get a coffee, I'd slowly walk by through Ryerson, walk into class. No one gives a fuck. The professor would just continue on talking.
Yeah.
Maybe like look at you real quick
Yeah, just
to give you that
Yeah.
disdained look. But you won't give a fuck
Yeah.
because it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
They're there to teach, right? At the end of the day.
Also, like if you have classes, like sometimes you'd have like a class in the morning, and then you'd have like a
Yeah.
6-hour gap in
Gas
between.
break, yeah,
So
I hear that.
I'd always be like, you know, me and my friend would be like, dude, you know what? Second class is really bullshit. So we just kind of like skip it,
Yeah.
or like we'd have
Just
like a
go somewhere else.
lecture class, and we'd be like, we show up high, and we're like there for like 10 minutes. We're like, dude, just want to go outside, and just like I don't know, go to the dispensary or something, or go to the bar. You know, or just fuck it, let's just go do something else. Walk in the park,
Yeah.
explore downtown, you know? So it's like, yeah,
That's true.
I like
too much freedom you're given.
yeah, but like
You just walk
I
out.
enjoyed it, you know, because like I'm not gonna lie, right? As I during first year and second year I barely skipped classes, right? I don't even think I skipped at all during first year, right? But third, fourth, and fifth, I pretty much barely ever went to classes, right? To the point where whenever I did come to class, there, like the few friends that I did make, they'd be like, "Hey, it's the guy who never comes to class and somehow still manages to fucking pass. What are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, isn't there a test today or some shit?" And they're like, "No, it's
Yeah,
next
and you're
week."
like,
And I'd be
that was-
like,
that was me, my
"Wonderful,
English
I'm
math
here,
course,
bro."
Like, all right.
Yeah. And then I just
Literally.
like after 30 minutes in the class, I'd be like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm good. Alright, peace out. and I walk out. You know.
That's literally me and my English.
Yeah, there's some classes where we just enter because they have a quiz right away. You do the quiz and we just cut.
Yeah, exactly. Just do the quiz and
Give
leave.
a cut.
We're like, okay, when are the test days? That's the days I'm gonna
Yeah,
show up
those are
for.
the days that I'm gonna.
That's when you
show
have a
up,
full
right?
class.
Yeah.
Literally, I had the professor for my math course say like, realistically, you just need to show up for the test and you'll pass. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I heard that. I was like, okay, say less, you know, like, fuck it. I'm not gonna show up for any class.
But here's the thing though, right? Like, I don't think anyone should do what I
I
did.
wouldn't recommend
No.
it.
Right?
Yeah, everyone learns
Instead,
Definitely not.
figure out how much courses your brain can take, so you don't
Yeah.
be like, oh, I don't want to go to class today. I'm gonna skip,
Exactly.
right? Because I'm pretty sure now, like, I don't know about other universities, but Ryerson has this thing on their website where you can like choose your breaks and everything and put your courses
Like,
on
accordingly.
specific
I was
like
able to do
according to
that,
times and
yeah.
everything, right?
I could do that before
Yeah.
work, which is nice.
So those types of things exist, right? Heck, if you feel like you don't want to burn through university in 4 years, take an extra year.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still gonna
Think
get
about
the
it this
paper,
way,
dog.
yeah.
Think about
Yeah.
it this way: you're paying for this. This is not free school anymore,
Mhm.
right? You're
Yeah.
paying out of pocket for
Unless
this.
your
So
parents are rich or some shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, you.
Then you can just
Loaded.
buy a degree, bro.
Exactly. But you're paying for it, so
Yeah.
might as well, you know, put your money to good use and actually
Mhm.
do
There were some
something
classes
right.
that were skippable. Like they just put slides up and they just talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I can just
Oh,
download
they'll
that
upload
and
it.
then
Yeah.
You
Oh
kind
my
of.
God,
I had a
realize-
history course. I'm like, why the fuck am I
Yeah, why
doing
am I- yeah,
history in
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
culinary school? I
Yeah.
hated that. I actually fucking hated that. That was one of my electives. We had to pick electives.
Yeah,
like,
pick
it was-
electives.
Like, was it like a food history type?
No, like
Just
literally
basic
like basic history. We learned about
Damn,
fucking
bro.
Hitler, and I'm like, I don't want to know. I'm going to fucking
What
culinary
was
school.
Hitler's favorite type of crepe?
Like,
Today we're gonna
Straight
learn
that.
Hitler spaghetti.
like see stuff like that just kind of makes you unmotivated. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not what I'm in school for. And then you're just kind of like,
Motivation, like I think that's a big one.
Mhm.
One thing I did that, like first year and second year. Well, first year you don't get a lot of choices with your courses.
Yeah.
You just kind of given like 8 courses. You can decide to take 3
Mhm.
or 4 or whatever each semester. But as you move on, like second, third, you get a lot more.
Mhm.
The one thing I did in second year was I have a lot of boring courses like anthropology and art history. So in like stuff like that, when you have like 2 or 3 boring courses in one semester, you don't want to go to class. So what I did,
Hold up, was your anthro boring because like you just had a boring teacher? Because anthro's pretty interesting.
it was interesting. I just didn't like that whole aspect because there was a lot of essays and lectures, and I didn't really
Okay,
like
yeah, that's
essays and
true.
lectures.
would
I did well. I got like 70 something in the course, but I also almost that's another story I'll talk about right after this. But load your courses with like something fun, you know? Because when you get those electives or like optional courses you can take something cool. Take like gym or whatever,
Here's the
something you
thing.
like. So that way you have some kind of motivation to get through that semester, you know?
Sometimes fun courses, they get taken in an instant.
Yeah,
you know those
that's
days
true.
where you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
like pick
Yeah.
courses,
Oh,
I
right?
hate
yeah.
course selection
Yeah,
day.
course
It's
selection
usually,
day is the worst.
7 a.m.
You're
you're
on
on
other
that
shit, bro.
Shit.
That's why I got stuck with fucking
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
I wasn't on top of
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah, I was stuck with fucking
See,
history.
I was
The worst-
always late for it, so I ended up getting stuck with the dumbest courses sometimes, which I would be like, why does this course even exist in the first place? What is me learning it today? How is this gonna help me in the rest of my life? And it never did. Okay, like there were some courses, you know, but then there would be like other ones where the name would just sound boring, right? And people just don't click on it because it has a
But
boring
you read
name
the
to
description,
it. You
and
read
it's,
the
like,
description,
proper.
some proper as shit.
I
Be
like,
like, oh,
dude, you know what that feels like?
I'm picking this.
It's like
so
finding
boring.
gold in a fucking pile of shit.
Yeah.
It's so nice. It's such a good feeling. And I hate course selection day because it's not fair, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I was up at like 7 a.m. waiting for this thing, and the moment it's up, like, all the courses are gone.
Yeah.
Just because my Wi-Fi
Yeah,
was
actually
slow or some
sometimes.
shit.
It sometimes it crashes too.
Yeah,
You're like,
because
Yeah, because there's too many people.
People overloading the website.
They need like a better way
Yeah,
to do it, you know?
system,
yeah.
And the worst part is when you gotta like beg the professor who owns that course to like let you in it. They don't. Usually like 90% they don't. But you know, like, and one of the other bigger things is like plagiarism.
Oh.
Do not fuck up and be that stupid guy who takes like a verse from like a Shakespeare book and puts it in, because they literally have programs. Because I got booked. I didn't plagiarize, but I basically, I'm not gonna name any names, but I gave my anthro essay to a friend because he wanted to look it over and get some inspiration. Turns out the guy just copied half my essay like and put half of his. So I go in, my professor calls us both on email. She's like, hey, come to my room, whatever, this time. I show up and he's there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I'm like, I thought I was gonna get booked, but you're here too. And then like she literally pulled up 2 fucking computer screens. One is blue, the other is white. And I'm like, this is fucking I looked at the guy, I'm like, I can't believe you did this shit, bro. And then she left the room and she's just like, alright, I'm gonna leave the room for 5 minutes, you guys decide what you want. And I'm like, what is there to decide? You're fucking failing. You're getting all the blame because you just took my essay.
Yeah.
And the guy, he apologized, like, dude, I'm sorry. And then she walked out and she came back and she was like, listen, I'm gonna let you guys go because you're first years, but there's like legal consequences for this. Like, I could have literally been expelled, and I could never go back to any university or education
They
again.
take that really serious.
They like literally like flag you, so you can't go back to any institution. It's fucked.
Yeah.
And like plagiarism is one of the worst things you want to get caught for. Like even if it's so minor and if it's unintentional, you can explain it. But if it's intentional, you're fucked.
Let me tell you my own plagiarism story real quick. So pretty much there was this one time during first year, it was a classical writings class, right? So pretty much I ended up citing way too many like things directly from other papers, right? And the book itself that I was reading. And the teacher like sent me an email. They're like, hey, there's some serious things I need to discuss with you. I've set up an appointment. Please come to my classroom on this day. And it was one of these days where I had a break. Like I didn't have any like classes that day. So I'm like, holy shit, I'm in big trouble for something. I don't know what exactly, right? I remember even emailing it like, is this like something serious? And he just replied back like, yes. So I go to class and he's like, oh, please have a seat. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So what's the problem here? And he takes out my paper and he was like, so I read your paper, we put it through the system. Your paper's all right. It's just you cited too much and it shows that it looks like you're plagiarizing even though you cited, right? Mm-hmm. So the next time, whenever you're writing this stuff, rewrite it in your own words so it like you don't have to deal with this type of stuff again. And I was like, okay, all right, so am I in trouble? And he was like, no, you can go now. And I was like,
that was like an email conversation you could have had with
pretty much. So
you wasted your whole like.
But I think he probably wanted to just like tell you in person it's more impactful.
Yeah. Because I was scared shitless, bro. I'm like first year into university and I'm already messing up, right?
You probably want to fucking scare
Yeah. I knew for a fact that he did. So I like walked down, I'm like, you could have emailed me this. He could have just emailed me, but whatever.
But looking back, you're probably thankful he told you in person.
Because after that, bro, everything I would write, I don't think I ever directly cited anything ever. Like I would, if I saw something in a paper, I would take that little quote out and I'd put it up top and then I'd write my own version of it, put the page number next to it and everything, cite it and then put it down. Because if you get booked for even like
there's no going back. Yeah, literally,
you get screwed, bro.
Like there's no going back because unless like you're like my prof where she let my friend off the hook because she's like, it was funny because the guy was doing criminology. She's like, look, she roasted him. She roasted him. She was like, listen, there's courses on plagiarism. I suggest you take it. But like, like if your prof doesn't let you off the hook, you're screwed. You have no future in the educational field. You cannot go back. So
because you're essentially you're stealing someone else's work,
hard work,
and then saying it's yours. Even if you don't mean it, you're kind of doing it unintentionally.
Exactly.
Right. And in university, where sometimes if you write a really good thesis paper or something or a really good essay, and that has the possibility of like getting published, right? If they book you later on for like plagiarism,
your career's done.
You're done. Yeah, they'll strip you probably of your degree.
That's like cancel culture, but
literally
like they're actual proof that it's.
But yeah, like
scary stuff, man.
So it's important to.
But like, it's not something you should be scared about unless you're cheating, like intentionally doing it.
Yeah.
Because 99.99% of the time, if you're not gonna unintentionally plagiarize something. Because if you don't have the intent of plagiarizing something, you're not going to do it.
Here's the thing: there's a lot of websites right now that are like, "Hey, we'll write your essay for free." Right? Every time on Twitter, and I like complain about, like when I was in university, and I'd like complain on Twitter and be like, "Oh, I have to write this fucking 8-page essay in the next 12 hours. Wish me luck. Some bot would just be like, hey, we'll write your papers for free. And I'd just be like, fuck off. You trying to get me kicked out? Like,
There's social media for you.
yeah.
You know what's funny though? Because I like, it's crazy because people advertise that shit.
Yeah.
Like, people actually use those services, and it's so sad because what the hell are you learning?
Doesn't
Yeah,
teach
you
you
don't
anything.
gain anything. You
literally
don't
just-
gain any insight.
You're just
from it.
giving someone money to make you stupider.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm sure you're gonna pass the grade, but like, if you don't know what the fuck your diploma is about, why are you in school?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't do that.
Like,
Struggle for it. You know, you gotta struggle for your
Yeah.
education because I think that's what, at the end, teaches you the most things. You know.
Mhm. Okay.
sometimes you gotta suffer to learn, you know. But
Yeah.
I think we should close it. We should discuss if it's for the viewers.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's scary stuff. It's some serious shit. You know.
oh jeez, if you're
Yeah.
going into post-secondary, just know what you're doing.
Just know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just know what you want to do.
take
For
your
do
time
your
to
research.
learn,
Do
yeah.
your research. Like,
I'd say you gotta like look into it in grade 10 if you want to go right after high school.
yeah.
The thing is, a lot of students are
Don't know. You don't have
grade
to
10.
do
They're
that.
learning how to like smoke marijuana, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you kids do nowadays. I wasn't smoking marijuana.
In grade
Grade
10, they're
10,
learning
we're
the
just-
next greatest
We're
TikTok
learning about
dance.
fucking mitochondria is the powerhouse of the
Yeah.
fucking cell. That's
I
what
was
we're
learning
learning.
that since, like,
Okay, whatever. We're still learning that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
grade
know.
9, yeah.
We learned that throughout.
I think one of the better things people can do is like pick a career field that you're really interested in and that you think you might have a future in, and then have a backup that's similar, because what happens is if you don't like your first option, you'd always transfer those courses to your option B.
Yeah.
But like, say you take art and like
And now you want to be a doctor.
something like, yeah, if you want to be a doctor,
That's
and you do like 3 years of art
Too
school,
late.
you're not gonna transfer any of those courses. Maybe like
Yeah.
English,
Yeah.
you take
Yeah.
English, but that's about it, right? So transfer courses is a pretty big, helpful thing most students can do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
just know what you want to do. Know where you're putting your money in.
Yeah, and it's money.
It's
It's like,
expensive. It is expensive.
yeah,
Also,
Education
remove
is
the
not
stigma on
College.
college and university, right?
Yeah.
There are certain jobs where going to college
a
is
lot
just
better.
way better.
yeah.
Way better. And then there are other courses where you need to go to university to get those like things. It's just be aware of what you want to do,
Mhm.
and then based on what that is, just meticulously plan things out.
And you know
You
what's
know?
something that happens actually? I've noticed is because I went to George Brown for a bit, is the stigma is so implemented into like a lot of families and like a lot of parents and stuff. But
Mhm.
you have to go to university colleges for like dumb people. Is I had a friend, or not a friend, just a fellow student or
Somebody.
classmate, fellow classmate, sort of. They were basically like, yeah, I only came to George Brown because, like, he's like, oh, thank God I came to George Brown because my parents wanted me to go to university, but only George Brown offered like that kind of art program.
Mhm.
So like some colleges only offer certain art programs. Universities wouldn't offer it because it's just too practical.
Yeah.
And what happens is some parents are just like, you can't go to college. Even if they offer that course, you can't. You have to go to university to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And they end up going, and then sure they graduate, but like
But they're
they're
lost.
mad,
afterwards.
miserable, and just lost.
They're
And they're
just
like,
paying a lot more, but they
Yeah.
get the same job as what they went to.
exactly.
Mhm.
And it's expensive, like, because we all took student loans out to get our education, and I didn't. Well, I finished it the third time around. Yeah, and it was not cheap, and I'm still paying off.
Yeah.
Paying off. Like,
Oh, that's another thing. Be prepared for the debt you're going to inevitably
yeah.
going to be stuck in.
And
Right.
like some parents, they do RESP and stuff. I think it's called RESP, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, where they save up for your kids' tuition.
Yeah.
A lot of kids take that for granted. I knew someone who took that for granted, and like, dude, free education is awesome.
Yeah.
Always take the free education. If your parents are willing to pay for something, do it. If you're really gonna hate it, then don't. But yeah.
But like, it's the thing about the what's the RVSP?
R
right?
something, yes.
RESP.
Yeah, I think it's RESP.
If your parents are willing to pay for you, still be meticulously aware of what you're going
Yeah,
into. Because
yeah.
sometimes your
100%.
parents
You're
might
forced to
dangle
do
that
that.
money in front
Yeah,
of you and be
just
like,
to do something
but
they
you
want
only
you
have to
to
do
do.
this thing, right?
Yeah.
if that's the case, then really think about it
Yeah,
before
really
you're
think
just
about
like,
your
okay, I'm gonna
options.
follow what my parents tell
Yeah.
me, you know, because
That's
you
what
might
you
end
get,
up
like,
being
a-
unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get mama's plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be happy with what you do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or else it's a pain in the ass.
It's your life, right?
Yeah.
It's your
It is
career.
your life,
The
yeah.
paper that you get at the end only means something to you at the end.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
it actually meant something while you were doing it, right?
If that paper is for your parents, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's not. If it's for you, then do it. You know,
Mhm.
if that's something you're gonna frame up and be proud about whenever you look at it.
Yeah.
Do it. If that's something your parents are just gonna show to your relatives when they come over, like my kid did this.
Yeah.
It's probably not for you. You know, those are the options you should weigh.
At least that's if you're maybe brown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any other cultures, but
Yeah.
from my culture's perspective, that's. But like, for example, my mom was pretty open with me. You know, she let me do whatever I wanted. That's why I got 3 chances. But you know, like, but a lot of kids don't have that luxury, so I'm kind of grateful for that.
Mm.
A lot of kids get pincered between like, oh, should I disobey my parents, do what I want, or like obey my parents and live a pretty comfortable life, that kind of thing. Because that whole situation gets very serious.
Yeah.
It's like very intimidating. It can be, like some kids just don't want to confront their parents
Yeah.
because that's who raised you for 18 years, But yeah, and there's kids who like straight out of high school they move out and they go to university,
They go
work
to
part time.
university,
They,
yeah.
they do it. There's all kinds of people you meet. I think that's why you should go to post secondary. In my opinion, I think that's why you should go.
Mhm.
Because, like, going back to the first thing I said, when I was in uni and I didn't really like it. I took it for granted, to be honest. But then now that I'm, like, outside and kind of, working and being an adult and doing adult stuff, I kind of wish I was back there. And, like, a tiny bit of me just wants to go back and, like, maybe take advantage of
Yeah.
when I was younger. And I'm still young, but,
Like I'm planning on going back.
yeah.
That's
Why do you
my-
think that is? Well, you have to further your career, right? That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I let go of the dream of paleontology, but then you
Yeah,
kind
right,
of
that.
realize once you're, like, I genuinely, if me when I was 18 had brain
Yeah.
that me now has,
26?
26?
Bro, it's like 25.
Bro, come on, I'm not that old
Skipped a
yet.
couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24.
20, I don't know.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to make me feel. But yeah, if 18-year-old me had big brain that I have now, I would have immediately been like, oh, I'm going into paleontology. But I never had that moment of maturation until I was like 19, 20.
And I think that's where the gap year comes into play, right?
Yeah.
That's very important. 'Cause you can mature a lot in a year. Especially, I was having this conversation with my brother yesterday, actually, because he's in IT, right? And he just got a new gig for like another company, and well, he's working on it. But basically, he's through the interview process. And he's telling me how like all these guys in IT, they're smart people, very like capable people. But the issue is like it's just their habits and their like social skills that really take away a lot of job opportunities. Is because they went straight to school, nailed school, you're like top of the class, whatever. They come to the work field, they're like frustrated that I can't get a job. Why is that? They don't realize that it's because a lot of companies now, they also want like a team player,
Yeah.
Because you can't just do all your work in one day and then that's gonna bring your team down. Because your team's gotta pick up their slack. Because you work 9 to 5, you gotta do your work 9 to 5. A lot of these guys, what he was telling me is they literally finish all their work like after hours, like at nighttime, and then they're just like chilling during work hours. But then and what happens after their probation, they get let go because they're like you're kind of bringing the team down. Yeah, everyone look bad, right?
Mhm.
Stuff like that is where like if you take that gap year, maybe work. And my brother was saying, since he worked in retail for like at Home
Yeah.
Depot for like 2-3 years, he learned a lot of social skills. So he's got best of both worlds. He's a smart guy, and he's got like how to talk to people, how to maneuver through the actual work environment, which is, fuck, that's so valuable. Like I hated retail, but that's something I will never give up. That amount of like talking skills I learned from
Yeah.
it's so valuable, so valuable.
No, retail's definitely
Yeah,
really
it sucks. Like everyone hates retail
Retail and
for a
restaurant.
reason. Yeah,
It
restaurants.
teaches you a lot of things.
No, post-secondary is kind of like retail.
In a sense,
When you
it's
think
just you
about
don't get
it.
called an asshole every 2 minutes. But
Yeah.
other than that, you're
Yeah. I mean, but the amount of arguments you
Yeah.
will get into, just differing based on opinion, right, in the middle of a class.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's
But
fun.
I think
times.
it's because you were in sociology, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was.
so that's
social-
different. I was in art. I wasn't arguing with anyone whose painting was better. You know,
Oh.
just like whatever. But I think for you it's different because those are ideologies and stuff. Right?
Yeah,
When ideologies
were
clash.
we were constantly like, you know, we're learning new different things
Yeah.
every single day. So and there would always be some things where you're just like, oh, I don't agree with that, you know, and then you would, like I said, you would either like have a group discussion with like your classmates, or you would end up talking to your professor about it, and you either end up like coming out of it learning something new where it's like the information is much clearer now because you had that one-on-one, or you would kind of like leave it being like, okay, my opinion's strengthened now because they never had any, like the professor didn't really have anything else to add to what they were saying,
Fair enough.
right? So like again, like the amount of social skills alone that you learn from university and college, and just it sets you up for the real world that's out there and how you can
Exactly.
handle differing opinions, right?
Exactly.
You don't have to like jump to being angry at
Yeah.
someone's opinion immediately, right? Like you can actually talk about it, you know, and kind of come to a concise reasoning between the two people.
Mhm.
Right? That's like something you can't learn in high school, because in high school you just pull out your fists
Yeah.
and that's it, right?
Because
A
you
nice
won't get
kick.
arrested. you know all that things. So I've heard.
Alright.
Yeah,
I think we should close it. like
Yeah.
this.
but yeah, bottom line,
What
what's
is your takeoff for,
final-
for our younglings?
I just say you gotta like know what you're doing before you get into it,
Mhm.
because it's serious.
It is serious. Yeah, it's your
It's a
life.
big move.
know
Yeah,
what you're doing?
Yeah.
It is a big move from from a kid to an adult.
It's completely it changes. Everything changes
Mhm.
as soon as you go into uni or college.
Yeah,
But it's good though. It's good
Yeah.
change.
it's good change.
What do you think, Perky?
Go for it. Like, go for it if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's the only
What we
good.
all have to do,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think that's kind of the general
God.
consensus. That
Yeah,
It's
that's
situational. If you think it's for you, do it. If it's not, there's other options. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, some like we kind of also live in a century right now where you might not even necessarily need to get any extra schooling after high school. You know,
Yeah,
like if you're a graphic designer or something,
Yeah,
you can make money
Yeah.
just straight off out of high school. You could probably make money in high school.
yeah.
You know, there are people becoming famous for things.
That I,
I mean-
wouldn't even consider art, but
Yeah, but like there, if you have a certain passion and you know for a fact that you don't need a degree for it,
Pursue it.
Just pursue it.
yeah,
Yeah.
pursue that instead,
So, yeah.
right? If you need a degree, like
wanna
you
open
actually
a
genuinely need it.
business,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just it all depends on the situation that you're in.
yeah. And I think the biggest thing is there's always help. You know,
Yeah.
there's always help all around you.
Exactly.
I mean, it depends where you live, but we live in Ontario.
Use
It's-
your resources.
Yeah, use your
In high school,
resources.
they have the guidance counselors.
Yeah, and even the government, they have funds and
Yeah.
grants and stuff. You know, if you're a really good student academically, there's a lot of stuff you can apply for. They just give you free money.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want with it.
You
Right?
want to be a farmer? You don't need no fucking post-secondary
Yeah.
thing to be a farmer.
I mean, maybe like you can take some extra agricultural courses. You
Yeah.
can pay it off, like like you
business
said, like there's
courses.
extra courses that you can just
Yeah.
take by itself,
Exactly.
right?
Themselves.
So and you wouldn't even need to pay like bare money for that type of stuff, right? So yeah, we live in a world of options right now. So
Depending where you live, but
yeah,
yeah, for the
So-
most part.
based on what options you have, like genuinely think about what you're doing before you.
Yeah.
That's
I always think there's always a kid starving in Africa, so do your part.
Yeah, I think that was unnecessary, but
Okay.
Let's close that up.
Every 60 seconds in Africa, 60 seconds passes. All right, that concludes